Hey, it's Ben Wise from ZOAR Fitness, and today we have Abby Miller on site. She's one of the athletes that I coach, and we're gonna be taking her through some energy systems testing on the assault bike. So there's two different tests that she's gonna be doing today. The first one is a max wattage test, where she's gonna take her time getting up to speed, but then she's gonna hammer it as hard as she can, trying to peak out her wattage at the highest point possible. So after her wattage is peaked, we're gonna hit stop on the monitor, and we're going to pull the metric max wattage from that end screen. Max wattage is an average of the highest 1 second of work. So it's not truly a max wattage, but it is an average of that highest 1 second period of work. We're gonna let her fully recover, and we're gonna give her 2 more chances to do that. So 3 total opportunities to get the highest score possible on this peak wattage test. After that, she's gonna fully rest again and go into the second part of the test, which is the sustain endurance part, which is the 10-minute test for accumulative calories. So as we're doing that, we're gonna hit the 10-minute target time, and that will not just give us calories on the end screen, but also an average wattage. That way we can compare our average wattage on the 10-minute test to our peak wattage on the max wattage test. And then in the last section of this video, we're gonna go over her results, analyzing if she is more of a powerful sprint athlete or more of an enduring, sustain athlete. And that's where we're really going to be telling you how you can interpret your results. Again, seeing whether you are more of a powerful or enduring athlete and what kind of training protocols you can use based on your results.
So Abby just got done with the 10-minute test, her first time doing it, so she got roped into doing this with us, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so first time doing it, what were your thoughts overall?
It was a little intimidating going into it at first. Never really, like you said, this was my first time doing the 10-minute test, so a little nerve-wracking. I thought it would take me a little longer to hit that wall, probably like you said around 7 minutes, but it got pretty tough around 3, so we tried to hit 255 for the wattage of consistency there, but I found myself stuck at like 186, 196 range.
Yep. So I've coached you for over a year, and I have a pretty good idea of where you might sit in terms of what you might be able to hold for your average wattage over this. I probably overestimated just a hair, but it was also like, if you've never done it before, you kind of have to guess and try to figure it out. So this is her first time doing the 10-minute test, and if people haven't done it before, it's like one of those things there's always a learning curve, like the first time you do a test. Like if people are doing an 800-meter run, like there's people that do that and compete and can hit that maybe 50 times, and each time they're going to get a little better at doing it, and this is like literally your first time doing it, so there's definitely a bit of a learning curve, so we'll give you some break here.
Okay.
But so if you had to guess, like where do you think you might sit in terms of like powerful versus enduring? If you had to like say that you're like, where do you think you sit in terms of like the spectrum of like those two?
In terms of comfortability, I think the max wattage for short periods of time would be probably my best suit over the endurance longer 10-minute, 15-minute workouts there. So
yeah, okay. So it's not necessarily that you think, like obviously it's uncomfortable,
right?
But like in terms of like if you had tests that came out in like the sport of fitness, do you think you typically do better on like the slightly shorter, more powerful end of those tests versus like the more endurance things?
I think so.
Yeah. And that being said, like she still competes in CrossFit, so it's like there is a blend. Like you're not bad at endurance work relative to like a weightlifter or something. It's just relative to the other people that you compete against, maybe not quite as high.
Yeah.
Cool. No, so we're gonna look at your results here and show you guys how you can interpret your results. So your average wattage that you held on the 10-minute test was 222, and your best peak wattage was 955. So that is 23%. So you were able to hold 23% of your max wattage over the cross that 10 minutes. So what that, I would say for a lot of people, if you're watching, like below 20% is kind of my cutoff for if you are a more powerful athlete. And then like 20 to 26% in that range is what I would call like a blended athlete, where it's both qualities of power and endurance. And then above, 26, definitely above 30%, you're definitely more of an enduring athlete. So I put you in the blended category.
Good. I like being there.
Yeah,
it's a good category to be in.
It's a relatively broad thing. I mean, again, for a lot of people, if you are actually a functional athlete testing this, is probably you are gonna fall into this, or you might self-select to do a different sport. Like if you were super powerful, you might not choose to do CrossFit, whereas you might choose to do something else like weightlifting. Or if you're super enduring, you probably aren't going to like choose a sport where you have to lift weights all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of think that makes sense. That's where I was guessing you would sit. So yeah, I mean, does that make sense to you?
It does. Makes perfect sense. Thanks for breaking it down for me.
All right, so thanks Abby for coming on today. For you guys at home, if you go to the comment section below, you're going to see her workout that she did, the actual session built out, including a warm-up and a cool-down. And then also you'll have the opportunity to click on a form below, and that form will take you to a place where you can enter both your average wattage on the 10-minute test and your peak wattage score. And then that'll get entered into a spreadsheet, and you'll actually be able to get and see your results, whether you're a powerful or enduring athlete. And then I'll also give you some sample training protocols that you could use to improve whether you're each of those type of athletes. So go ahead, you can fill that out now. And thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any questions. And as always, head over to ZOARfitness.com for training related resources and one-on-one coaching for the sport of fitness.